You can add audio to it. Now, if you're looking to do any sort of demonstration within the slides, I have not found that this works very well. So what this will do is allow the students to listen to your voice while the slides are on a timer. So when you want it to specifically, it will go to the next slide. And I'll just go through some details of that.
This is for people that are at home watching it, and you can.
That's correct. Now it's not live, obviously.
Right.
It's saved and updated. But so what I'll do, and if you don't have PowerPoint on the screen, you just look up here, and this is on my computer has a microphone built in, so I don't have to worry about is it going to pick up my voice or anything like that. And I would imagine, Mr. Foots, maybe you know this better than I do. Any computer that has, or even like an iPad, should have a microphone on it, correct?
All laptops and iPads will have a microphone. Desktop computers usually do not.
Yes.
You'd have to have a headset with a microphone or a separate microphone with
Mr.
it.
Foots, I would be able to do this on my iPad.
I don't know if the iPad version of PowerPoint does this.
Yeah, I haven't tried it on an iPad. Like I said, I've only done it on a computer that has a microphone. So, but what you do is if you open up a slideshow that you already have. So this is mine from chapter 1. It's completely unedited. This is just what came with the curriculum. It's got 28 slides. Now, if I was lecturing this in class, it would probably take me about 4 days to go through, just at the pace that I go. And what I found, because when I first started using this, what I'll do is when I start a slideshow in class and I'm lecturing, it gives me an option to just record everything that I'm saying. So if a kid misses class or whatever, they can send me an email and I can send them the notes, but it's also my voice of what I said in class that day, and it changes. So the slides will actually change on their end when I change them in class. So if I was on this first slide for 30 seconds, after 30 seconds it will change to the next slide, and they'll literally be able to follow along with whatever I did in class that day. But when I started playing around with it a little bit more for us potentially having to do the distant learning, what I found is it's not going to be feasible to have the entire slideshow with audio added to it at one time. Like, you're going to have to cut up your slides. So an example of this is 28 slides with this material would take me 4 days. Well, in class, I've got students that ask questions, we have discussion, I may stop and ask them questions. So it takes a lot more time, but when I'm just sitting at my desk and I'm literally just lecturing to my computer, it takes me about a fourth of the time. So what I've tried to do is, if I lecture 4 days a week, I'm going to try to break up what would be normally 30 to 40 minutes 4 days a week into 2 20-minute lectures. All right, and so after about 20 minutes, I try to get to a stopping point and shut it off, right there. That way, I don't think they're going to sit at home and listen to me talk for 40 minutes. And they're certainly not going to do that for me and then do it for Mr. Debski and then do it for somebody else. So, but how the specifics of how you do it. So you're first going to have to cut up the slides that you want to cover. So if I was to just go through, the platform is really, really good for inserting audio. What it's not good is allowing you to edit it really specifically. So you've got to go into, and if you know that you want, let's say, slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if those are the slides that I want to cover in one given lecture, what I would do is save this file separately, and let's just add it to my desktop. I will save it as
Part 1.
Chapter 1 lecture, lesson 1. All right, so I'll save that. That's what I'm editing now, and what I would go through and do is just delete all of these extra slides that I don't need. And now I've got my 1 through 6 that I want, and I wouldn't need this one either, so I would delete it as well. So I've got 5 slides that I'm going to add audio to. All right, so what you're going to do, is once you have the slide selected that you want to add audio to, you're going to go up here where it says Slideshow. And you need to make sure that these two boxes here are checked. So the first one is Play Narrations. That's what's going to allow the students to hear your voice after you have sent them the recorded audio. So if this is not checked, no matter what you're saying, they're not going to be able to hear. All right. So that box has to be checked. I would use, you need to check use timings. This is what's going to allow your slides to change on your command, and they will also receive it in that way as well. As far as show media controls, excuse me, I have not been able to get this to work very well for me. I'll select this box anyways and show you what it is here in a minute, but I haven't found, I'm not sure, Mr. Foots, is this the most updated version of PowerPoint, or probably not? I use the schools.
Well, that's on your Mac, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Mac version has slight differences between that and the
Okay.
PC version, but that looks like the current version. Yes.
Okay. Well, what I found is that if you want to, you have the ability when you're presenting a slide to, and I'm just showing you what I mean here for a second. You have the ability to go down here and use, and it's showing my narrations now, but you can use, for example, like a laser pointer. And I have not found that it will record and save the movement of your laser pointer or the writing that you might do on the slide. I have not been successful in getting it to save. It actually gives me an error message when I try to. But, all right, so what you're going to do when you want to start recording is you're going to go right here to Record Slideshow. And this is super, super easy. You just click right here on the big button. It's going to take you to what looks like a presenter mode. And up here, or on my computer, what you'll see is this pause button and reset button here at the top. Alright, so if you see your timer here moving, so it's at 16 now, and I've got it paused. As soon as I press play, everything that I'm saying is being recorded. Okay? And as long as this timer is continuing on, it's recording what you're saying, and it will allow us to play it back here in just a minute. Now, these two buttons are your only controls for recording. You only have the ability to start completely over or pause wherever you're at. If you make an error, such as say something incorrectly, and you want to go back and retract one sentence, you can't do it in this format. So if you mess up, you're either going to have to start completely over just on that slide, or you're just going to have to live with your mess up and maybe correct your words, whatever it is that you said. So once I press play, and I'll just let it run here for a second, you can talk about, whatever it is that you want to say, Introduction to Human Anatomy and Physiology, Chapter 1. Now, as soon as I press the arrow button here to go to the next slide, the previous slide has been recorded, and the new slide is now being recorded.
What did you just hit?
All I did was go to the next slide.
Next
Just the arrow button to go to the next slide. So on your end up here, as a student, what you're looking at is just the slides themselves. As I switch to the next slide, just by pressing the arrow button on the computer, it will go to the next one. But what it's doing is recording from slide to slide. Now, if I pause this, and let's just say I end Slideshow, I'm going to save those recordings. Now, I'll play it back so you can hear what I'm saying. You should be able to hear
The
it.
kids, when they're watching, if they could actually stop it, go give them something to drink, come back and start it back up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can definitely do that. So, I'm not sure if there's speakers there. You should be able to hear from me. And I'll just let it run here for a second. You can talk about, whatever it is that you want to say, Introduction to Human Anatomy and Physiology. Let me pause that for a second. All right, so what it's doing is it's playing back what I just recorded on this specific slide. And my microphone it's still picking up everything that I'm saying, so it's putting if I was to continue talking, I would continue to put the subtitles up there. You can remove that if you want to. But what you're going to notice here in a minute is as I continue to talk, the slide is going to change, and then I'm going to pick up with a new thought. So if I press play, Technology Chapter 1. Now, as soon as I press to the next slide, the previous slide has been recorded. All right, so I changed to the next slide in the recording at a specific time, and the slideshow that the students receive will change with that. Now, to show you how you can cut this up. All right, with Chapter 1, so if you're looking up here on the screen, let's see if I can zoom in here. I've got 15 seconds, and you can kind of see that down there. It's a little lights and stuff. I've got 15 seconds of audio recorded on on this first slide. Okay, I've got 21 seconds of audio recorded on this second slide. I've got 9 seconds of audio recorded on this third slide. Now, let's just say that I went back and listened to this entire slideshow, and I didn't like what I said on the first slide.
Real quick, what view is this in? I'm on PowerPoint.
Okay, go down to the bottom right corner.
Yes.
And so you have slideshow, you have slide sorter, and then you have normal view. I'm in slide sorter.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so you should be able to see your time that you spent recording on each individual slide. And if you want to edit, let's just say one slide in particular. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to select that slide. All right, so I'm on slide number 2. I want to change what I said on slide number 2. I went back and listened to it, and I didn't like how I said it, what I said. Again, on a slide-to-slide basis, you either have to start completely over or leave whatever you have. You can't go right in the middle of it and edit it, which is unfortunate. If you spent 5 minutes on a slide, you're going to have to go back and redo it all. But I go to slide number 2. All you have to do is go back up here to the top and click Record Slideshow. As soon as you click that, it is going to start recording on that specific slide. It's going to erase whatever you've previously recorded. So you don't get the option of listening to what you first said and then listening to what you second said and then choosing between the two. It just doesn't work. The format doesn't allow you to do that. You either have to erase what you said previously and start again, or deal with it and move on. But so I've been talking now on this slide for 33 seconds, and on my computer, what you'll see when you do this on your side is how long you have been talking on a given slide. Over here to the left, you will see the total time spent on the entire slideshow to that point. So I've got 49 seconds total recorded. I've got 33 seconds on this current slide. If you ever press on a given slide this circular arrow button here, that resets your timer and erases everything that you said. So you have to be really careful not to press that unless you just want to start over. Okay?
Just that slide?
That slide only, yeah. It doesn't affect the whole slideshow. So when you want to get out of this and you want to go back to the slide sorter view again, you press End Show, Save Changes. If you don't click Save Changes, it's not going to save anything that you did. Now I'm back in the same view. If I start over again at the beginning, I'm going to click up here at the top left-hand corner. I don't think it's letting me zoom in anymore. I'll play from start. So it'll start the slideshow over, and I'll just let it run here for a second. You can talk about, whatever it is that you want to say. Introduction to Human Anatomy and Physiology, Chapter 1.
If the kid wants to
Now,
fast forward to the next
as soon as
slide.
I press I have not found a way for the kids to speed up my voice or slow it down.
We'll go to
If
the
they
next
want to go to the next slide, then all they have to do is click the arrow button, and they're able to rotate between slides, and it still remains on a timer like that. So
If you click
They're
that,
stuck in a slide, but they
it
can.
is going to start.
right, so there's
on
33
that
seconds on slide number 2 here.
It's going to
And it's
erase.
going to go until 33 seconds, and then it's going to change. If they're tired of hearing it, then they can just go to the next one,
Arrow button on your
and
computer.
it'll pick up.
It will go to the next
And
one.
then they can go to that one. That one doesn't have any audio, and they can scroll through as quick as they want. But you can't speed up or slow down the audio. Now, one other thing that I'll say on when you're in this slide sorter view here, again, this fourth one has, I want to press that. This fourth slide that I have here doesn't have any audio recorded in it. So if I wanted to record audio, I would go start recording from this specific slide. I would just click record slideshow. All right, so it's recording now on that fourth slide. When I exit out of that, if I want to clear the recording from that fourth slide, let's say it's a picture or something like that, and you don't want to have any recording on it, you can go up here to that same box where it says record slideshow, click the arrow, and it's going to give you some clearing options. The first one is clear timing on current slide. That'll remove any audio that you've recorded on that slide only. If you clear timing on all slides, it's going to erase everything that you've done. All right. Down here at the bottom, clear narration is the same thing. So there's a difference between you talking and then moving to the next slide. That's considered your talking is your narration, and then moving to the next slide is your timing. You don't want to change the timing without changing the narration, or it's going to record what you might be talking about slide 1 for a minute, and it moves on to slide 3 before you're done talking about slide 1. So the way that I've used this, and I've recorded a couple of them on, so I'll get out of this for a moment, and I'll go to one. This is the first one that I recorded, so we're in chapter 11 now. And I did this one today, so I picked out 12 slides from my chapter 11 notes, and I think it's a total of about 20 minutes, so I'm about a minute and a half per slide. If I wanted to edit any of these slides, I would just click on the slide itself, go up here to slideshow, and then use the drop down arrow to either re-record, or I could clear narrations and clear timing. But what on the students' end they're going to get is they're going to get a copy of the notes, and as soon as they open up the notes, they're going to start hearing your voice if they have the ability to with a speaker.
If they don't, would they be able to see your words underneath? Like
They
you
will
would
be able to see subtitles. Yeah, if you have this, if you have the subtitles box checked over here on the top right, it says always use subtitles. If you uncheck that, they're not going to see it. If you have that box checked, they'll be able to see it. You can have it in different languages. You can put it at the bottom, top, below, above. You have some differences on that. I just leave it at the bottom, and they'll be able to read the narrations, hear the narrations, and it moves at the same time. The only negative to this that I found is it doesn't allow you to do anything in the slides while you're talking. So, for example, I'll play from this slide. What I would like to be able to do as I'm going over to this slide here is I would like to be able to have like a laser pointer or whatever and show the steps that are taking place in the picture. It doesn't allow you to do that. So if you're if you need to be able to show a process or something like that, then this is probably not the best thing for you. But if you're like history or, like what I do, I don't do any math or anything like that, so I don't have to really show any kind of work. I can just talk through it, and what I found too from students in class is the first time that they listen to it, they're absent and I send it to them, they listen to it at home, the first thing they always say is it sounds incredibly boring for like the first 5 minutes, but then after they kind of get over that, I think it really helps them, and and they ask for it sometimes too, just to study for a test or whatever. So, you know, if it's condensed to about 20 minutes, then I think, you know, I think it's really helpful to them to be able to add whatever context you want to the slides versus just them reading the notes. But I guess do y'all have any questions about how to?
I have a PowerPoint that I'm able to like work through problems or whatever. It won't allow me to do that if I'm talking to it.
Is it no? It's not going to allow you to work through problems.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
Could you not?
You'd have to use like a video.
Well,
of some
could you
sort.
use like slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, working through the problem, showing the steps?
Or I'd have to video me doing the PowerPoint.
So what you could do is you could, and if you're gonna if you're gonna spend the time to make a video, you might as well just go ahead and use the video as your PowerPoint. But you could take the video, show yourself working the problems with no audio, put it in the slideshow, and then record audio. But that would be a lot of work for. Yeah.
Yeah, you could drop links into
Yeah.
into PowerPoint as well.
The
You-
PowerPoint
yeah.
that I have is like really good and informative for the unit circle, but it adds.
You have to be able to do stuff on it.
Well, if I click on it, if I click my little button, it'll put stuff on it. So will that won't do that.
I would have to look at it, but I have not.
Look at it.
I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to add any sort of during the slide anything that I do with the pointer. Like it doesn't
Now,
let
how
me do
about if we use a laptop that is also a tablet that you can write on? It's a combo.
Again, I have not been able to get PowerPoint to allow you to write in the slide while you're talking. But
You know what you can do? I don't know if you got. I have a smart board, so I use PowerPoint on my smart board, and I write on my slides all the time. But it doesn't save them. But the smart board software does have the ability to save those. I've never experimented with it.
Okay, I might have to experiment.
Yeah. And the format, I'm not sure what you can export it as. It'd be
I got-
something to look into.
Can you tell how many people or who has watched? You know, like in Huddle, I can go on and I can say 13 players watched it and I know who they are.
unfortunately, you can't do that.
So you don't know if anybody watched it.
No, this is just like, and I'll send this in an email to you for an example, and you can kind of see, I guess, what I'm talking about. But it's just PowerPoint. It's nothing fancier than that. It's just PowerPoint slides. It's just you're able to go and add your voice to it, and that's it.
But
That's all that PowerPoint allows you to do.
It is okay. Use PowerPoint. You can do all your slides and then come back later and put the audio with it.
Oh yeah. So if I get out of this and I go to any of my my PowerPoint. So like this is chapter 4. And this is like the master copy from the curriculum that I have. So it's nothing but slides. What you could do, Coach Bell, is you could go start right here, go to Slideshow, press record, and you could talk for as long as you want. And you can rotate through the slides. You can just, like you're talking to the kids, talk to your computer.
And then hit
And
button.
go through there, and it's recording everything you're saying. And when you're done recording, press End Show. Do you want to save the new slide timings? Yes, I do. And then you're done. Then you just upload it to the portal. And I've broken it up into 20-minute segments. You can go as long as you want. It'll record. I think it'll record for up to 6 hours. And they could pause in the middle and then pick up where they left off, but I just break it up into smaller segments. But you might be able to preach at them for 6 hours straight, Coach.
So I wouldn't make it 6 hours.
So can you go on your slideshow and hit it and listen to yourself to see if you need to make?
You can,
Can
yeah.
you hear
So
what you've said?
yep, you can. I'll let's see. Like this is my endocrine system. You might want to take some notes here, Ms. Wilson.
He's called you out.
So what we're going to look at today, so chapter 11, which covers the endocrine system. It covers an introduction to the endocrine system, what it is generally, how it interacts with other body systems to maintain homeostasis, what a hormone is, what the different types of hormones are, various glands
I don't know where my,
that produce and
closed
secrete
caption option
hormones,
is. I think I have an older version.
interactions throughout the body, and interactions again with other body systems. This lesson is going to cover pages 292 through 296. The chapter practice questions are 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 10.
Actually, I was
Visuals,
I was out by my fire pit and call it fireside chat. Like
I would encourage you as we go through these slides to pause, answer the questions as we go along. Stop if you need to and read the particular section that we're covering. You do have the opportunity just to kind of slow down a little bit, and I would encourage you to do that as you go through. So this lesson that we're going to cover is actually a little bit of a review. We covered this prior to going on the extended break. So a lot of you guys will be familiar with what we're going to cover. Again, pause as needed, answer questions. In a second, it's going to change to reading necessary. the next slide, and it'll just go all the way through.
Uh-huh.
So the endocrine system, but it's about 20 minutes long, and it's literally like they're sitting in class.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, what?
Definitely some stuff to play with next week.
Alright, so any other questions?
No, that's awesome. Awesome.
Select what you want to record before you do the recording.
This one scares me to involve them because I think if we recorded it correctly, there were at least 6 times that you said you could delete everything. You could delete everything. You could have to start all the way over. You could
Yeah,
delete
the
everything.
biggest thing is-
And that terrifies me.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing with it is not to.
That's why I'm scripting like my lessons, which I've never done.
No, don't do
Right.
that.
Scripting my like PowerPoint talk through it. I'm just like,
Because if you do mess up, PowerPoint doesn't allow you to cut it up and edit it to that extent. You just have to start over on.
But you can
Now,
record your voice.
I'm
not
running
your-
What you could do, if you need to edit a slide, if you didn't want to delete or correct something, you just wanted to add, cut and paste a copy of that slide and just add onto it. Yeah, just a quick workaround if you need to supplement something or modify something
We're using the VGA.
without re-recording.
I was using.
Another little idea, if you just like misspeak like one thing on that slide, just go back in and add a little text box, I meant to say this.
Yeah,
And
that's
just stick
right.
it off on the side and they'll see it. Yeah. You know, and, you know, problem solved.
And